Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest episode, the return of Straight Up, the Creator Cast. I'm your host, NeatOnTheRocks. I go by Noah. It is my journey to find out just what it is that lets us pursue our passions as our careers instead of wasting our ways at 9-to-5 jobs. And here I'm joined by my lovely cousin, BeetleBabeJade, the K-pop star. Would you like to introduce yourself, Jade, to my audience and our listeners?
Hello, my name is Jade. I make K-pop reaction videos on YouTube. It's become my solace in the world. So I'm having a great time and I really, really enjoy it. And I talk Noah's ear off about it 24/7.
Dude, she's getting me into it, like, really. Like, she's starting to like play music for me and I'm like, oh, this is all right. And she's showing me stuff. I'm like, that's kind of interesting. And
Yes.
and your Twitter is wrapped up in K-pop Twitter, so I get entwined in your K-pop Twitter a lot. What is it? I want to start from the beginning. A lot of people don't really know what you were up to before you discovered your love for K-pop. So I want to start kind of from the beginning. What really kind of got you into making content? Like, what'd you start with?
So I actually started doing art. I would make digital designs or digital art pieces or whatever. And I was posting them on Instagram and TikTok mostly. Sometimes I post them on Twitter. I've drawn like my whole life, but I started doing art more recently because I was able to make an adult purchase of an iPad that had the cool Procreate app, which I was like really excited about. And then I ended up kind of going into the world of like anime, and I started doing redraws of anime characters, and it became super duper fun. Like it resurfaced my drawing like interest because I didn't draw for like 10 years. After a while I thought maybe I would never draw again, and so I started doing that and kind of got into the world of TikTok. I didn't download TikTok for a long time, and then art made me do that because it was really, really cool, and I wanted to start making those, and then one day I was watching something on TikTok and it came through on there a video of a K-pop group that was dancing. And I have always watched dancing videos on YouTube, like a lot, like just, I really enjoy dancing. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I went and looked up the actual video. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, oh, this is the name of the group and it's K-pop and all of this stuff. And I don't even know, like once you hit the hole, you just start going. Because next thing I knew, I was watching reactions of K-pop, people reacting to the videos that I had watched, because we'll get into reactor content and things like that. But like I started watching them and I noticed that there wasn't really a lot of women doing reactions to this K-pop stuff. And so I was like, well, that's interesting. And kind of as a joke, I was like, maybe I'll do that. This all started as a joke. I don't know if anyone knows. A joke to myself of like, I don't even think I'm that interesting, but let's do it. And so I randomly was like, I'm going to make a video reacting to BTS, which is the K-pop group I had never heard before. So like I had been into K-pop before I started doing reactions. There was a few groups that I like generally listened to quite frequently, had seen all of their videos, like had watched stuff. And then I found BTS because in the video that I'm talking about with the K-pop group dancing, they were doing like a game where they had to dance to different choreos that were from different random groups. And one of the songs in there was a BTS song, and I really liked it immediately. And I was like, ooh, what is that? And so then I went looking for it, and that was the song I decided to react to first. The rest is kind of history. Ever since I did that first video, I was like, ooh, this is really fun, and I want to keep doing this. And it's just the coolest thing.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to hear that you found that there weren't a lot of women in that space.
So with that, though, it's kind of one of those things like you never see yellow cars until you have a yellow car. Once I started making reaction videos and then I started going and going through, I saw a lot more women. I was very, very happy about that. I think that it's super great and cool, and women supporting women, I love it. So it was awesome to see that they are out there, and it just wasn't in the niche apparently that I was looking in. But I really was like, oh yay, now I get to be a part of this thing. instead of, obviously I didn't
Yeah,
start it. No
finding
one
my
starts
people.
that,
Yeah.
but yeah, I found my people. It was really cool.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's cool too because you tried a lot of different stuff. Not just you had tried drawing and doing stuff, but you had tried like you had restarted your YouTube channel like 3 times, or
Yeah.
and had tried Twitch streaming and TikTok and this back and forth, and then you tried this completely outside of everything else you had tried, and this is what popped off and really took you off. So, what do you think it is about K-pop that just has gotten this super rabid fan base that now you're part of, that now you're creating content for?
I mean, I don't know if there's anything, I'm not going to speak on topics I don't fully know about, but like I can say that, and I've explained this to you sometimes, but the way that you can listen to K-pop and kind of get this feeling, even if you don't understand the lyrics, or even if you do, I mean, if you speak the language and you get it, that's great. But for me personally, because I don't know them and I can't understand them until I go look them up, um, it provides an additional like sensory feeling of feeling connected to music that is something that's not entirely, I'm not able to fully express how I can connect to it because I can't really tell you, but it's like you just feel that and it just becomes this whole thing where you feel represented in another way that you can't put into words.
You might say because you can't understand necessarily the artist's kind of intention, you almost project your own meaning onto what's going on, and then that is, you can compare and contrast that whenever you look up the lyrics and things like that, and
It's kind of interesting because even though I don't always understand the words, they're so good at getting the feeling to come across anyway. And I feel like we don't always see that in specifically like Western music. Because like they rely heavily on like I'll say the words and you'll get what I mean.
Mhm.
Versus K-pop is very, very like I'm going to make you feel this with the way that I'm using the sounds in the background, the way I say the words in the song and things like that. And so it's just a very different kind of representation in music.
More like emotional and nonverbal, obviously,
Yeah.
type of communication of ideas. That's really cool. By the
And
way,
then
I meant it as a compliment, by the way, when I said fan base is out of control. I think it's really cool that so many people are really passionate about something that's kind of what we would consider kind of non-conventional or out there, so to speak.
I think it's taking over the world. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. 6 days until butter.
Aha.
Until they
They take
the
over the
English
world again.
by storm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think shit's gonna go mainstream.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what do you think, how do you think reactions play into kind of the culture right now? So like I'm kind of really outside of the space. Like as little as I understand about like K-pop, I understand even less about like reacting to K-pop and how you like create content around something like that. It's a totally new field for me. So tell me a little bit about it.
So I'll say this much. I've always been someone who watches reaction videos, whether it's K-pop or otherwise. I used to watch people react to dance choreos that I was watching and things like that. I think that reaction content and watching people react is kind of like a way to solidify your feelings and share those. So whenever I'm watching a reactor react to something, it's because I'm like, oh, I felt this when I watched this, and I want to know that other people feel that too. And I want to feel like there's a relation and that I'm getting the same thing, especially if it's something that's like super cool or super complex. Like there's the whole, called the BU, the universe within BTS that's just like full of craziness. And I haven't even fully dove into it, but like people want to talk about that because of how much there's theories behind it, fan things, and like being able to talk about it. But when you watch something for the first time and you get that feeling that you get, watching someone else get that same feeling is so cool. And on top of that, especially for my comments that I've gotten a lot of that I never even thought about when I started making this, mine was mostly just about sharing that feeling with other people, was a lot of people who have been BTS fans for a long time. They relive kind of what they felt when they first found them, because a lot of people find the K-pop world very differently, and so it's coming from someone who just found K-pop and has been like on this irreversible, like I'm up here all the time feeling. Being able to react to stuff allows people to kind of like see that again and feel that again whenever they got that feeling back then. And so it's really cool to kind of just like be there and share those feelings with them. And I get a lot of comments of like, I love freaking out with you like I did whenever I first saw them. And I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. And I also get a lot of help from people. They just like want to like, a lot of my comments, of course, are going to be like suggestions and things because I ask for those. But a lot of them are like helping me navigate questions I have about the video, or helping me navigate like things coming out or when this came out, or like age stuff. Like my most recent reaction was an older video of BTS. And in the video, I had commented about like an age of a member, but they do age differently over there. So there was some comments educating me on that, which was really cool because people just like want to help you out. And then you're able to use that information to make your content better later on. So it's really dope.
Yeah, you've changed the way I've never really looked at React content this way. Like usually when I approach React content, I look for experts in whatever field. So like I watch a lot of like political reaction type stuff where like there's a Twitch streamer called Hassan that does reactions to like news and news articles and news videos, and he gives his like expert opinion on it. Instead, it's more of an emotional thing. You're talking about sharing like an emotional experience with somebody, you know, and experience it from a new, like a fresh lens, your fresh lens, when a lot of these people like were, you know, 6 years ago discovering you know, this stuff. And I mean,
don't get me wrong, there are definitely experts in the field. I mean, when I first started doing reactions, I was kind of scared because I was like, I have no expertise in any of this area whatsoever. I'm just doing this because I want to, because it sounds fun. Because I was watching people react to K-pop that were like dancers or vocalists or music producers, people who were like analyzing everything.
Right. Yeah.
And I just wanted to come on and be like, they're making awesome music and they're attractive and I love them. That's all I got. I have nothing else. I found out though, by doing that you kind of forget about a lot of things that you yourself may have that you may not consider expertise. I mean, we talked about this today. I was in music in school for 7 years. So I do know about music. I just don't know it like professionally. So it's not something I'm going to speak on or say like this is whatever, but it definitely helps me formulate ideas and theories and opinions when I'm watching the music videos.
Appreciation, right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just different. It's a little bit like I can compare it to the reason kind of people sometimes will watch Twitch streams of like blind playthroughs, or watch YouTube videos of blind playthroughs for a game somebody's already played. You know, it's like getting to live vicariously through someone experiencing something you may have already experienced, or sometimes somebody hasn't seen something yet and they want to experience it with somebody who shares that same interest, when these are niche interests that people don't necessarily share with the people that they know in real life. And so they get to live that through you and through somebody they know through the internet, and it's somebody who makes videos and stuff about it. It's really cool.
Yeah, for sure. I have a chat comment that I want to touch on. They said, watching reactors have like light bulb moments and knowing that their lives changed for the better. So specifically in this, like BTS kind of changes your life a little bit. K-pop in general has changed my life. It's
definitely changed your life. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, you know, watching someone go fall in love with them is kind of really cool, especially when you're already there. So yeah, that comment definitely makes a lot of sense.
And if you guys are in chat right now and are enjoying the podcast, be sure to remember to leave a like on the video or all the good stuff. or follow the Twitch channel or whatever, whichever platform you're watching on, and stick around because we will have like a dedicated part of the cast where we'll take questions from chat and suggestions from chat. So, what was I gonna say next? I really want to know what your thoughts about your YouTube channel, like how it's kind of going places you did not expect to be in 5 months of making YouTube videos.
No, yeah. When I started this, I had no idea this is what we were going to be doing. I was just doing it for fun. I still do it for fun. I mean, and I really just kind of like, I made the videos and then it ended up kind of going crazy. Like so many people were watching it. I remember the first time that I saw how many views my first video had, which I think it hit 10,000 or something. And I literally was like, 10,000 people have seen my face and I don't know how to handle that whatsoever. It was fucking wild. Like it's still fucking wild when I think about it. Like every time I look at view count or subscriber counts or anything, I start like a mini panic, but also it's super cool.
Yeah, dude. How many, what was the size of your graduating class in high school?
Like 600.
600? Okay. So imagine how big that room was, right?
No, don't.
Now multiply that by 2 and now multiply that by 10 and that's 12,000 people. Now multiply that by 2 again, that's 24,000 people. Now multiply it by now multiply the first number by 10, add that again, that's how many people have seen your first video.
Oh my god. It's a lot.
Think about how many people 30,000 people are, dude.
It's a lot. I think about it sometimes and I'm like, that is too much. No, I was actually really nervous about putting out my first one for sure, because I feel like there's a lot of people who have a lot more upbeat reactions than I do. Like, I don't think that mine are not upbeat, but like, I'm not a very animated individual personally, I feel. And so I felt like maybe my reactions would be lacking compared to most of the reactions that I've seen. But I didn't want to be, I'm not going to force myself to react a certain way. So I was like, well, I'll just react how I would normally react, which I usually don't have to try that because once I'm watching the video, I just get immersed and then whatever comes out, comes out. And I actually got a lot of really cool feedback about like how people really enjoyed the way that I reacted. And it just made me feel a lot better after a couple videos in that I was like, kind of, as I said before, I didn't think I wasn't interesting enough to be making reacting content, but I was like, I want to share my experience with all these people. And so I did it anyway, kind of a courage thing I had to work through. And it's been really cool because I still get comments like to this day that are like, I really like your channel and how you react. And I'm like, that makes me feel so good because I feel sometimes like I am not doing enough. But obviously you don't want to be non-authentic. I mean, that's my whole point, is reactions should be exactly how you reacted to that. Exactly. And mine are just not super loud, extravagant reactions, which sometimes I love that shit too. Like it's not for everyone, but I love that shit sometimes too. I want someone to be yelling, even though I wouldn't be yelling, kind of thing, because everyone reacts differently. Sure. So yeah, it's super interesting. Watching my channel grow in such a short amount of time has been really, really cool. But it also makes me go like, well, what's going to happen? It's only freaking May.
Yeah.
What's going to happen by the end of this year? I don't even know.
Well, imagine if Butter really does make, BTS explode into like the American mainstream. And suddenly not only does K-pop blow up, but all the K-pop related content blows up. K-pop reaction channels pop off. And suddenly you're doubling your subscriber count overnight type of shit. Like it's capitalizing.
Crazy.
You are an early adopter, even though, BTS has been around for 6 years and some of these groups have been around a while and K-pop has been on a steady rise for a while. I think you're an early adopter for sure. I think that's part of why you're capitalizing on this niche and part of why I think you're going to blow the fuck up. So I guess get ready.
I guess so. Also, it's 8 years, by the way.
8 years. Sorry. I'm not, know painfully little about K-pop. I'm sorry, guys. Please feel free to correct me about anything. So, are you prepared for that?
No.
Like, at all?
No, not so well, no.
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna be so fun though. I can't wait at the same time. Like,
dude,
just to have that many more people to talk about. I mean, I could talk about my Discord all day long. It's like a little family I've created, and it's so cool. The people I meet and everything. Like, and my Twitter people, like my interaction on Twitter, make my day. And like, it's just the people that I met a person at a coffee shop the other day that commented on my BTS shirt, and we had like a nice interaction, and we talked about biases and things, and it was like, just K-pop is connecting people more than anyone ever realizes. I mean, to be honest, it's so cool. For sure.
What I don't think you're ready to consider yet is how much you're going to have an impact, dare I say, an influence on like the K-pop sphere. Like,
I don't know about that.
I think you're underestimating yourself.
What would I influence?
Well, there's, 30,000 people had their day brightened by your first video. Like, at the very least, except for the people who left a dislike or whatever, like whoever was a hater, but they were emotionally influenced too, in the opposite direction. A lot of people are starting to hop into not just into your videos, into other reaction videos, into analyzation videos on the topic, and more will be coming. And they're going to have their opinions and their lives and their actions influenced by you in some small way, but in a way that trickles out and butterflies and all that. And eventually, I bet you're going to start looking at some like collaborative stuff with probably other K-pop creators and reactors and stuff like that.
I don't know.
And so if you start forming friendships here and there, you'll start being part of that space and influencing those spaces. You'll be part of K-pop's history before long. Like, you'll be part of it. Like, that's what being a creative person means. Like, you're kind of leaving your brushstroke on the big painting.
What's so interesting to me is hearing you talk about that is like, I don't know if anyone knows this or not, but I'm literally just vibing through this. Like, I have no plan. I started this with no plan. It's been really cool, and I've been starting planning things out and doing stuff. And I really, like, if someone watches my video and then becomes a K-pop fan because they watch my video, I've won. That's all I wanted. Like, it doesn't have to be about me. It can be about me if people want it to be, and if they want to be my friend, and that's really cool. But like, K-pop music has been such an influence on my life recently that I'm like, I want everyone to hear this. I want everyone to be a part of this. That's
what I'm talking about. You're gonna introduce it to somebody, or somebody who's like, I don't know how I feel about K-pop is gonna watch your video and decide, yeah, I actually do really like this. Wow, this is really freaking cool.
That's the only thing I'm going for. I mean,
exactly.
That's it. If my little thoughts on this song or that song can make someone love them, then that's all I am doing this for. And also because it's really fun. But
I think that genuineness is communicated in your videos, like you were talking about. I think part of your energy communicates just a really, really genuine expression that resonates with a lot of people. And I think that's why it resonates with a lot of people, So let's talk a little bit about how we're going to grow your YouTube channel.
Okay.
Okay. So you've been talking to me a little bit about how your channel's performing and the different things that go on with your different videos. Let's take a look at, we're going to give the audience here a little bit of a behind the scenes look at a big YouTuber's YouTube channel. And we're going to go through some of the analytics and whatnot, and talk about what the analytics mean and what they mean for your channel and how you can use them to educate yourself on how to improve where you're going and where you can be. So I'm gonna pull up your channel here. She trusted me with her channel, everybody. She's trusted me not to nuke everything. So I'm gonna try not to.
They'll all come for you. I don't know if you know that or not.
Dude, yeah. No. I got 3.46 thousand people that would come torch me if anything happened. I already owe them all your comments.
Oh my gosh. If you're here in the live, just as an FYI, I had to do some fixings on my YouTube channel and switched over some permissions and things like that. And by doing so, YouTube has a rule that it deletes every comment you've ever made. So it looks like I have now it looks like I've never responded to any of my YouTube comments on any of my videos, which you all pretty much know is not true. I respond almost to every single one of them. I try my hardest to respond to every single one of them. So I don't know if I would. I'm going to try to go back on some, not a lot, but some. But just so you guys know, I did respond, and I have responded, but they're all gone now.
I would leave a pinned comment on all your videos saying, hey guys, all my comments got deleted because of this motion. I'm gonna go through and keep replying to new comments, but if I reply to your comment, you don't see it anymore. That's why. And I think most people understand. So
there's all right, so
here's your YouTube studio. Here's all your stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Friggin' 1,850 subscribers in the last 28 days. You've doubled. Is that double? Am I doing my math right? You've more than doubled your subscriber count in just the last month. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
So good job on this last video. It was ranked 2 out of 10 from your previous videos. It's doing really well.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, you can go into YouTube's channel dashboard here, and you can check views, and you can hover over these check marks and these arrows, and it will tell you your typical range and how it compares to your typical range for your performance. So here you've got like your typically your views in the first day plus 2 hours get anywhere from 2.6 to 3.5 thousand views average, and this one got 4. Click-through rate looks good, and your typical range of watch time is between 12 and 15 minutes. That's kind of crazy, by the way. That's crazy long. That's part of why I think your videos are gaining traction, is you're getting huge view durations, and you're getting really, really good click-through rate, too. So for anyone who's new, I'm going to be explaining some stuff, Jade, that you probably already know, but I'll be explaining it for our audience.
That's fine.
Impressions click-through rate is just how many people are clicking on Jade's video just because they saw the title and the thumbnail. So basically 11.3% means that out of 1 out of every about 10 people that see Jade's video, about 1 in 10 are clicking on it. And most people are viewing about 15 minutes of the video, which we live in the age of Vine and TikTok and Instagram Reels and stories, where getting people's attention for more than 60 seconds, even getting people's attention for 60 seconds, is really, really freaking hard. And Jade's out here keeping people's attention for 14 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. How long are your videos usually?
It ranges, but like the one that you're talking about was 45 minutes long or something like that.
46, 34. Wow, 46 minutes long, and you kept them for 15. That's insane, dude. Oh my God. That's insane. So that means that people are keeping, that's 33% retention on a ridiculously long video. 46 minutes is definitely what I would consider on the longer end of YouTube videos.
Army doesn't care, just so you know.
Longer than most people dare even upload. Yeah. And you're out pumping them out. And people are staying for a good portion of the time for the entire video. That's really impressive.
I was worried about video lengths, and then a lot of people were commenting. They were like, "We'll if it's long, it's long." And I'm like, "I love that. Thank you."
Yeah. Some of your longer videos are performing really well. This one has over 10,000 views.
Yeah, so that video is my first like informational video, like homework thing that like kind of goes through like how BTS came to Pat. And so there's a few more that I'm going to react to too. And Army likes that because they like, at least I say Army because I would assume that's most people who come to my channel. I don't know, but like people who come watch my channel, they really like to watch, I found, reactors react to things like that, like how the group formed, things about the members that you may not know, because it shows that we're doing that research. It's not just about, which for me personally, it's not just about the music. I have fallen in love with all of the members and what they stand for and how they're doing things and all of the backtracking of that. So like watching those kinds of videos that are more a little bit about backstories and information so that you can better appreciate them. People really like to see people take time to do that.
Yeah, dude. Can you define ARMY for our listeners, like the podcast side that may not know what you're talking about?
ARMY is the fan base name for BTS, but it's much more than that. It's a revolutionary group of people. I mean, honestly.
Oh boy. So you got 84 subscribers just off of this one video, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
I haven't looked at the logistics of this one.
And very good watch time, 10,000 views on just this video. 56% of that is YouTube's recommendations. So a lot of people, and a lot of that is on the up next in the YouTube home. So a lot of what YouTube values is that people click on your stuff, even when it's sorted with other things. And that your videos keep people on the platform and keep people watching your videos. So something that YouTube really likes is for, let's say somebody watches one of your videos and then goes and watches another one of your videos and then goes and watches another one of your videos. YouTube loves that shit. That is one of the most effective ways of getting successful videos and growing a successful YouTube channel, is getting like a bingeable number of videos that people binge, like for real. And your analytics show that you're doing a really, really good job of that. Another surprising statistic is that 22% are coming to your video from your channel page. So people are clicking on your channel and looking through your videos and saying, that one looks cool and I want to watch that one. That's a really rare statistic to see high. And then a couple of people are finding you through search, and a lot of people are clicking on your notifications, and then only 8.3% is from other. So these are the statistics I would expect to find from a really successful YouTube channel. And it speaks to why this video is popping off or popped off previously.
I'm going to pause for a second and say hello to everyone in chat who's saying hello. I see you. I appreciate you commenting. Goodness.
Yeah, dude, I'm so happy to have this opportunity to talk to you about this. I think it's really cool that you're popping off on YouTube, dude. Oh my goodness. So let's take a look at some of these other ones. I notice you are not eligible for monetization on most of your YouTube videos.
Nope.
So do you have any sort of like, do you have any sort of plan as to like making more content that's monetizable, or like, are you just not worrying about it? Or,
well, I didn't start this to make money, obviously. But I do spend a lot of my time, like pretty much if I'm not at work, that's what I'm doing, is making videos or editing them or making stuff. And so I was like, if I can make money off of it, sure, I'll do that. But obviously it's not my goal. I did start a Patreon. I made it kind of just a little bit of like if you want to support me, you can. There's a few benefits associated with the Patreon tier that I've created. I'm going to try to post some videos on Patreon that are going to be for patrons only over time. But like, I guess we'll get into just copyright in general for a minute. So for those of you who don't know, most of my videos are ineligible, and they have the copyright claim thing next to that, meaning that something in the video has a claim on it that is copyright. That's due to the fact that I react to music most of the time, music videos, things like that. Sometimes whenever I can't post a video due to copyright claim, there's some you want to go through the tiers of copyright claims?
That's fine. Yeah, let's talk about it, because people don't know, especially in your audience. It'll be useful for your audience as well to kind of understand it a little bit better on the back end.
Yeah. So there's like 4 different tiers or something like that, and the first one is that you can post it, but any monetary value you gain goes to the copyright owner. And you don't get any of it, which is fine. Or there's the top tier is you make money off of it, I think. Or like a portion of your ad revenue goes to the person, but you can still make money off of it.
Right. Yeah.
And then there's my
like
videos, which is I don't make money off of it, and all of the money goes to whoever owns the copyright material. And then the next one is your video is blocked. So for those of you, whenever I say I have a copyright issue and I can't post the video, for example, my Cypher reaction video that was up for maybe I think 2 days and then got taken down, it's in the blocked category. And it will not let me upload it, even if it's like unlisted, even if I try to use Patreon. So I don't know if anyone knows, but Patreon isn't like its own uploadable space. It's linked through YouTube or Vimeo. So if I want a video to go on there, I have to link it through YouTube. So if YouTube will block the video, it's not going to be eligible to go on Patreon either.
Right.
So it gets a little bit difficult, and I tried to re-edit that Cypher reaction video like 17 times to get it to go through, and it just wouldn't.
I even tried to help you. Like,
yeah, it's not going to work. So unfortunately, there's just no ways around that at times, unless I wanted to post it on a third party, which I've looked into. I think on Vimeo, you have to pay a certain amount a month to use the platform. So I might eventually look into that for some of the videos that are harder to post on YouTube, and then make those, on my Patreon or whatever. But it's something I'm looking into, but it's not something that I'm making like a huge part of of the creative process. Like, obviously, none of my videos really make money up to this point, and it's not something I'm really super concerned about. I just do it because I love it and it's cool. But if I wanted to do this, long term
or full time or more permanently or whatever,
then it might be something I need to consider. So
yeah, because I think a lot of people in kind of really like our age category, like our kind of generation, is really self-conscious over monetization because we have this fear of looking like sellouts or trying to capitalize on people and or looking scummy or things like that. But I think a lot of people understand. A lot of people in our audiences are kind of like, nah, girls, secure the bag, like because they understand that the being able to monetize what we do means we get to make more and better content, and they view that as a good thing. So
well, that's kind of why I ended up doing the Patreon, was because I was like, I can't really make money off my videos, which is fine. But if people, because I was having some people ask about it, and I was like, well, if you wanted to financially support me, I can offer this option. It's not something I talk about a lot, but yeah, I of course, you can see if this monetization is available, it's turned on. I don't know if anyone knows this, but it's not like a lot of money. If you guys think it is definitely not. Right. I think my overall gain is like $4 or something, based on the information. So yeah.
And then next year you're gonna have to deal with taxes.
Yeah.
Which actually, today is Monday is the deadline for taxes, and I have not done mine yet, so I've got to get on that.
You're terrible.
I know, dude. I'm a procrastinator. What can I say? You have 36 videos uploaded. Do you know that? 36 freaking videos. By the way, can I compliment how much how you've improved your thumbnail game, and how much your thumbnails have gotten better since you started? I'm impressed.
Let's come back to that just real quick. So the live will be available as a YouTube video afterwards for the chat available.
Yes.
It'll be going on my YouTube channel afterwards. And then I had a question that said, if you post 2 or 3 shorter videos at once and we binge them, will that boost your YouTube rating?
What was the question?
If you post 2 or 3 shorter vids, so like if I didn't post a long 45-minute vid, if I did 2 or 3 like 15-minute videos and they binge watch those, is that going to boost the YouTube rating?
Not necessarily, because it's also based on the proportion of people who watch the complete video and the proportion of how many people get through the entire video. And these long videos, you've got such a dedicated fan base that are watching these videos to the end. That is boosting not only the watch time of those individual videos, but also the watch percentage of those videos. And when YouTube sees a video that's long, but has people watching it through to the end, and has a lot of people just watching a lot of the video, that video performs really, really well on YouTube's end. Whereas if Jade were to post, like if she were to split a video into 3, for example, in this scenario, You may not have as many people interested in watching the second and third one, and so there's a drop off there. Or you may have, because you're reaching a wider audience with the first one, the second and third one suffer, or you don't have as many people finishing all three. And so it kind of comes out in the wash. It really just depends on what the creator wants to do. I would say you're going to find success in just about because of what you're doing and how you're doing it. You can really find success in any way you want to kind of upload your stuff. If you want to keep uploading them in these long formats where they're 45-minute videos and people enjoy the whole 45 minutes, if you stay good at that, then you can keep doing that. And then if you want to experiment with also posting some shorter stuff, that's maybe a little bit easier to make, that lets people get kind of more of you more often, I guess. And those perform really well. You can keep doing that on the side. So it really just depends on the different stuff. Mostly though, what's a good question is that there's no real way to encourage your audience to perform a specific behavior to help boost your channel in the algorithm. You kind of have to do it organically. There's no real way that I've seen anybody say like, hey guys, I really appreciate it if you guys would binge my channel instead of just watching one video at a time. It actually really helps me out if you binge them all at once or something like that. I've never really seen any creator see an impact on their channel's performance or their video's performance based on asking that of their audience.
Well, I will say this. I want my people to watch my videos in whatever way they want to.
Yeah.
If you want to binge them, binge them. If you want to watch them one day at a time, watch them one day at a time. I whatever's going to make it enjoyable for you all is what I want you to do. I don't really have a preference, or I'm not going to ask you to push it in other directions. Like if it's doing well, it's doing well. If it doesn't do well, then maybe I did not do well that day.
And that's useful feedback, you know? So. Right,
yeah, my thumbnail, you can see the video it changed. You can see the video it changed.
Yeah, because you were doing this, and then you did a short. And you came
and then
here.
I kind of did like a medium thing where I was putting pictures with my face.
It was kind of transitionary period. And then you really start right here.
Yes,
that's the one. Yep. You really start to see, like, okay, now she's starting to get a hang of this thumbnail game. Yeah. And then these start to kick ass.
Yeah,
for sure. Especially this one. I think the thumbnail of this one is a contributor to its success as well. I think this is a really good thumbnail right here. I really want to look at your first video.
I enjoy the thumbnails a lot. They're fun to make.
I want to take a look at the analytics.
I haven't actually looked at the analytics of this in a while.
412 subscribers just from this one video. That's more subscribers than my entire channel has from one video, Jade. From one video. That's also more views than my channel's ever gotten. That's crazy, dude. 30,364 people. That is so many people. That is so freaking many people. Dude, can you imagine, like no, say you had a band.
I don't even know what you're asking, but no.
Say you had a band in the 1990s, like you were a musician, and somebody offered you to play for 30,000 people. How many freaking people that is. It's so wild. Many freaking people. That's so cool. 1,700 hours have been spent. 1,700 human hours have been spent watching this video. How hold on, I gotta get out a calculator. How long do you think,
oh my gosh,
1,700 hours is? 1,700 hours is 70 days or 2 months, you know. Essentially, if one person was to watch it this many times, it would take them 2 months to get there. Holy shit, Jade. That's how awesome this video is. Do you realize that?
No.
So it's an 8-minute video, 39% view retention, and a lot of it. So here's a really cool thing. You see how there's a dip here, but then it comes back up and then it kind of steadies off. That means that not only are people watching your video, but they'll watch the intro and then they'll watch some of the rest of the video. Then they'll come back. They'll rewind the video and rewatch these parts. That's why parts later on in the video have a higher watch percentage than parts earlier in the video. So people were going through on your very first reaction and were rewatching you experience the moment. I think that's neat. I don't know if anybody else thinks that's cool. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, You want to see a crazy number. You want to see, you want to talk about, oh, 10,000 people have seen my face. 247,000 people have seen this thumbnail. Have seen the title and thumbnail of this video. Just so happens that 8% of them clicked on it. Holy shit. 247,000 impressions. That's more like it. And 56% of it was through the browse feature. And 20% of it was people coming to your channel and wanting to go back and see your first video.
That's crazy.
It's really freaking cool. It's really freaking cool. So it interests me that a lot of it comes from YouTube search. So I'm guessing,
not surprised by that whatsoever.
Oh, hold on. Can I see better? Yes. So check this out. Traffic source YouTube search. You can see 6% of people who watch the video searched up BTS reaction first time.
That's why I said I'm not surprised whatsoever, because that's what I searched immediately.
Exactly. Capitalizing on search. Beautiful. Beautiful. Here's the cool thing. This, whatever video this is, first time ever K-pop reaction, 15% of the people who have clicked on your video from suggestions came from that particular video. Oh, cool. And then the rest have come from a variety of different videos. So that might be a creator you could collaborate with. So you have do you have a playlist called BTS Reactions?
I do. Yeah.
I see. And 50%. Yeah. Cool. Let's take a look at engagement. Average view duration, 3.22, 39%. 99.5% likes on a 30,000 view YouTube video. Holy shit. That is obscene. That's another thing. That's another thing that's helping out the video too, is that so many people are clicking the like button. I'm guessing you didn't have any sort of call to action either.
Oh no, I just
I'm guessing
posted
that first video you just kind of posted it. You didn't have any sort of like and subscribe shit going on yet.
Well, I think I said like and subscribe at the end if you like want to keep going with this, because I was literally like, I have no plan.
I remember that. I remember watching this. You were like and subscribe. I have no plan.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this is so fascinating. This is like, I don't even know how to compare this to. This is like, I'm like a kid in a candy store right now, looking at all these numbers. I'm like a numbers guy, so looking at all these cool analytics and stuff. So this shows you the activity of the video and how it's fallen off over time, as a video will get kind of disseminated and then kind of taper off.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, before we get into that, sorry, I have some chat I need to answer.
Go ahead.
Yes, Katie, thank you. I have a Discord available if anyone wants to join. It is there's a link in the description of this live. And let's see here. Hello, everyone. I found your video by YouTube search. Thank you for searching, Maggie.
Nice.
Morning from the Philippines. Good morning. Oh, everyone's so cute. I love it.
We'll take a break after this, and then after the break we'll take questions from chat. Does that sound good?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, sweet. This is the coolest part I found. Two-thirds of the people who have watched this video were female.
That's dope.
That is really dope, because you found something. This at least in my spaces, I actually don't know. I'd have to look up what the proportion of YouTube viewers are, but generally speaking, most YouTube videos I've seen, it's either about even or mostly male or overwhelmingly male audience, and you've got a majority female audience, which I think is probably really rare. So and this is really cool. Dude,
this is my favorite stat I've ever looked at, by the way.
The plurality of people who watch your videos are between 45 and 54 years old. That's really cool. That's really interesting. Wow.
Some of the it was surprising for me to find, especially like even people who join my Discord and stuff. Like a lot of the people that I am friends with are like my age or older mostly. Mm-hmm. That dynamic below my age is not really there for the most part. I mean, it is. There's quite a few of them when you think about it, but like some of my like actual like Twitter mutuals or like really close people on Discord, they're all like much older than me, which is fine. Age is but a number in my opinion. But I think BTS and K-pop transcends that age gap and that language gap and all of these gaps. And I'll go on forever about this, but like, it doesn't matter. You can appreciate them no matter what.
That fascinates the hell out of me. I want to know why that is. Like, do you have any sort of explanation? Like,
I mean,
is it nostalgia for like the early 2000s boy bands when they were our age? Like,
no, but there is a joke on that. Not a joke. Maybe it's not a joke. I don't know. There's a thing on that. I haven't like looked into it or researched it myself, but there's a thing on like people who watch, who were fans of boy bands back in the day have now become K-pop fans in their lives now. So it may be associated with that. I think that K-pop is a whole thing in itself, and it's not anything related to anything I've ever seen ever.
Right.
So I can't say for sure, but
that fascinates the hell out of me. I'm gonna have to do some like independent research on that to figure that out. Also interesting, only 21% of people were from the United States that saw your video. I'm not surprised that the top 2 were United States and South Korea, but I am surprised that of the top 2, that's only 35%. Only 1/3 of people came from the United States and South Korea.
If we go to my full channel analytics, I think South Korea is higher overall.
In the United States? Wow, that's fascinating. Wow, that's crazy. Awesome. Yeah, let me see if I can pull up your like full channel analytics. I full screen this as well. Let's go to the analytics tab. Here we go. 233,000 views in the last 28 days. Now that's not individual people. Since a lot of people are watching all of your videos, but that's still nutty, dude. Holy shit. My goodness. 4 million impressions on your videos. Oh my God. Wow. I'm so proud of you, my child.
Oh, thank you.
YouTube search, suggested videos. I like that it shows proportion of your total traffic. This is last 28 days. Can I do all time? Lifetime.
I haven't looked at that.
5.7 million. Wow, you've done so well in the past month. You've blown up in the past month compared to how you've been doing. Wow, that's insane. All right, 371,000 total views. Wow, so proud of you. Let's take a look. Engagement, audience. Here we go. Let's look at the audience stats. All-time audience stats. Have you seen this chart yet? When your viewers are on YouTube? I
haven't fully looked into it, but honestly, a lot of my we talked about this the other day once when I posted a video like super duper late. It was like 4 a.m. For us, and I was like, I normally would be concerned about this, but like half of my fan base is across the world, so they're awake for the day, and then whenever our side of the world wakes up, then the video will already be there, and it's kind of dope because I can just I'm there for everyone at all times. It's so cool.
So what's cool about this chart is that the faster your video blows up and the better your video does with your subscribers and the people who regularly watch your videos, the more it will be shown to a wider audience and the more it has a chance of blowing up in general. So this chart can really help you in determining the best times to upload a video. So for example, Mondays are kind of dark. Whatever videos you've uploaded on Mondays haven't performed as well as the videos that have been uploaded at other times. And it's not necessarily even when the videos are uploaded, it's when people are viewing the video regardless. And so things like 9 a.m. and 8 a.m. Tuesday and 8 a.m. Saturday, and these early mornings, it says very many of your viewers are on YouTube. So this is a time when you could start doing early morning uploads. Have you done scheduled uploads yet? Or do you just hit upload generally?
Most of my videos, so I post on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Okay.
Unless something adheres to that. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, it goes out at like 10:30 a.m. ish.
I see. Cool. So I think you should bring that back. I think you should upload about 8 a.m. I think you would see a huge spike in the number of people who are watching your video right as it happens, right as it goes out. That's really, really cool. I love analytics like that. I also think it's interesting that compared to other hours, like you see the evening times, people aren't really online, especially on Mondays. or afternoons on Mondays, but then you see a slight spike in the evenings on Tuesdays and Fridays. And so people are getting home from work or doing their thing, and then before they end their day, they're watching your video. It's really freaking
wild.
Cool. Almost a quarter of your subscribers have their bell notifications on. I think that's cool. Apparently the typical is 10 to 30. I think that's highballing it. I don't think it's that typical. And 20% of them, nearly 20% of them have all notifications on for your channel, which only that you're on the high range for that. So that's really impressive. 77% it comes from people who aren't subscribed. That's about what to be expected from a healthy YouTube channel that's growing. 62% of your total audience is female. That's really cool. That's really cool. You don't see that very often. And then for your other videos, it looks like for your channel as a whole, it kind of has corrected, and your channel has a plurality 18 to 24-year-olds. But it's very interesting to me that your very first video was mostly in this range. That's very cool to me. It is still cool that you see a lot of people in this range for your total channel. For sure. And yeah, you were right. Top geographies, South Korea is 20%. YouTube and United States is only 18%. And together, those are only 38%. Most of your audience is coming outside of the United States and outside of South Korea. That's really, really, really interesting to me. It's also interesting to me that India, Indonesia, and the Philippines are the following countries.
Honestly, getting comments and everything from people, they'll tell me where they're from, or they'll respond in their native tongue, and then I will go and
have to translate
it for it. And it's so cool to see where everyone's from. Like, I'm not kidding. Like,
Brazil, Malaysia, United Kingdom. Wow, that's really cool.
It's from people all over, and you can make so many friends. It's so cool.
Dude, you've got viewers in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
How about that? That's crazy to me, man. That's so cool.
I love them. They make me happy.
That's so cool. Awesome. And then, did we look at engagement yet on your entire channel? Dude, that's so interesting to me. Is this on your most key moments for audience retention? This is on this particular video. Oh, so here's a cool thing. It gives you this video had the best retention of any of your videos.
Yeah, so it's because it's a very, very, very highly requested video.
Highly requested video. Okay, cool. Yeah. So that gives you feedback on what. Ooh, second was your I bought too much stuff video, your unboxing video.
Honestly was really surprised that I got so much on that. But a lot of people were saying, like, we just like seeing people like being happy and buying stuff too. Broke army is a thing. Like, we all just spend all of our money on
want
stuff.
to live vicariously.
Yes.
That's hilarious. Oh, and then your this one being high up there as well. Mm-hmm. This is really, really cool because it tells you which videos are your most engaging and can tell you, okay, then you can go back to those videos and be like, okay, what did I do in this video that engaged people more than my previous videos? I think it's cool that you see again these I don't know which video this is for. I'd have to look into figuring out how this is laid out. I think it's for this first video. But again, there are sections here where you see people are going back and re-watching different parts of you reacting to the different parts of the video.
Which I did that when I watch reactions. I do that. If it's like a very specific part that I'm like, love their reaction to it, I'll watch it over again.
Watch it over and over and over.
It's again. Wild to think that people are doing that for me, but
yeah, dude, that's super cool. That's super cool. So these are top videos by watch time hours. So that shows you, that kind of that's a little bit of the same thing, but you can look at which longer videos got a lot of views, because it's typically going to be your longer videos that are going to champion these watch time hours. Top playlists is obvious. Top videos by end screen is interesting, because I'm guessing you're putting your watches BTS for the first time in a lot of your end screens. And it's a very natural second video for people to watch on your channel.
So my end screens are actually set up with my sub card, my most recent upload, and my BTS reactions playlist. That's it.
Interesting. Okay, so that one would be the first video in your BTS reactions playlist. Brilliant. That's actually really freaking smart. That's really freaking smart. You've got a playlist of videos related to the one that you've got. That might be your secret. That might actually be like that
I
might
don't
actually
know.
be.
I don't have a secret. I'm not doing anything.
No, I meant like that might be one of the major catalysts for how successful your YouTube channel has been, like legitimately, in that, like I said earlier, YouTube really likes when people watch a video to the end and then click through to a new video and click through to a new video. If people are watching your reaction videos or any of your BTS or K-pop related videos, and then seeing on the end card a playlist of all your reactions, and then going, oh, I've hit the jackpot, and clicking on that playlist and going through, that is, YouTube is going, hello, we've got a winner here. Let's promote her channel a lot more, because that makes us bank, or that makes BTS bank, because they're receiving, you know, your monetization
as
stuff.
they should.
So, so that's really freaking cool. And even though only 0.4% of people are clicking through to the playlist that this is shown, even though only 1 in 20 people are doing that, 1 in 200 people are doing that, it's still possibly bringing a, well, I say that, and of course there's only 25 views but through end screens on this video, so maybe I'm mistaken, but anyways, it's a cool theory. How has your journey to BTS been?
Fucking awesome. Eye-opening, honestly.
Eye-opening, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It's been a really, really cool experience. Yeah. I don't even know how to explain it all the time, but they've just become, like I said when I started this, they've become my solace. Like, sometimes the world is shit. And watching BTS is like, just makes me so happy. It makes me love living. Yeah,
dude. Calico says BTS content is helping me survive. I don't think that's a rare sentiment. You know, I don't think when stuff comes out like BTS, or my favorite right now is Ruby, that's kind of the thing I'm a fanboy for. When stuff comes out like that just is genuinely wholesome and really, really inspiring, it helps a lot of people get through some really tough stuff. And I think that's really freaking cool. What will you be thinking about when they have to enlist and are gone for a length of time? So if you guys don't know, South Korea has basically conscripted military service for all of their male residents, generally speaking. And so generally in K-pop, it's pretty common, because they're mostly young men, it's generally pretty common that groups have to break up or take breaks or switch out members, because some of the members have to go and do conscripted military service for, is it 2 years?
Yes.
Something like that?
I believe it's 2.
And BTS members, some BTS members will eventually get to that point, won't they? Like what's going to happen?
Yes. So right now, the oldest 2 members, Jin and Yoongi, would be going in. However, South Korea released a thing that's basically extending that time frame due to the fact, I haven't looked into the logistics of it, but basically due to the fact that BTS is kind of performing well and a general representative of them, is what I'm understanding. I could be wrong with that. It's actual thing, but I think that they also recently did an interview at Rolling Stone I talked to you a little bit about yesterday. And Jin touched on that, because he's going to be the first one to go. And he just said, I'll go when I'm called and when they're ready. And if BTS goes on without me during that time frame, then, you know, I'll watch from the sidelines, kind of thing. And I just think that it's their decision. We're not the ones going. So I will support whatever they decide to do. If they decide to all take a group break and everybody just goes in, then we will wait for them when they get back, because they don't plan on stopping making music anytime soon. So.
Yeah, you had said, which one was it you had said just had produced, like, makes a song a day or something like that?
Yoongi, producer of the world. So cool.
Does he really produce a song a day, or write a song a day?
There's a video where their leader Namjoon talks about it, and he says you like produces a song a day. I don't know if that's accurate, but he produces like 200 to 300 songs a year. There's a statistic.
Jeez. So. Oh my God, actually, wow.
Yeah.
That's so impressive. That's so impressive. Faye on Twitch asks a really important question I would love to ask you, and that's, have you been working on fan art some more?
Ooh,
And if not, why not?
Oh gosh. I did make some fan arts in the beginning. They actually got me back into drawing. I had stopped drawing for like 6 or 7 months. And then I fell in love with BTS and I was like, ooh, I want to draw this, and ooh, I want to draw this, and ooh, I want to draw this. I'm actually personally having quite a hard time with art currently. Feeling very discouraged in that department, and frustrated. Some of you may not know, I also have kind of like a medical thing where my hands get locked up or they start hurting and things like that. And so sometimes drawing really takes a lot of my energy in that. So I have to space it out when I do draw. And so lately, just with the frustration of feeling like my art's not coming out how I want it, and that I just haven't really been drawing. But with Butter coming up, I did draw a few things for the comeback stuff, and it kind of moved me a little bit back into it. So yes, I want to make more fan art, and I think that I will over time, but it'll be kind of a slowly getting back into that scenario.
Cool stuff. Do you have any ambitions with the type of videos you want to make? Like, is there any type of video that you can't make right now because of time allotment or production quality that you don't have yet, or something that's keeping you from making certain kinds of videos that you have ambitions to make here in the future?
Do you think you'll react to any compilation videos or like music videos? I think that's a good segue into what you asked about what I would like to react to. So I think that I will react to anything and everything that I can. There are things that I don't put on my reaction channel, like sometimes I just want to watch it right then, so I do, or sometimes it's just not something that I think that other people would want to watch. Like, how do I explain this well? So, literally, they have a lot of content. So I think that doing it for every single thing that they've ever made would be, I would be doing this forever and ever and ever, which is fine. I'll do it forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
No mind whatsoever. But sometimes you kind of have to think about if other people would enjoy watching you watch that. Because there are some things where, so like music videos specifically, compilation videos, yes, are also on there. I will be reacting to some of those, and things like that. But like sometimes they have you don't probably know what it is, Noah, but it's called VLive. It's an app and they can go live on it. And sometimes their lives are just them talking, or eating or doing whatever. And then they will be like responding to their chat and things like that. And that's like, if I watch that, that's not something that I would put on as a reaction, especially because like me personally, I would just be like doing other things while I'm watching that kind of thing, because sometimes they go like moments without talking, or they're just kind of like hang out with us. So it's a little bit different than watching like a creation that they made. So I will react to anything and everything that I can. Are you going to sneeze?
I was going to until you asked. Went away. Cool. What about outside of reaction content?
Outside of reaction content?
Have you thought about branching out yet?
I don't even know what I would do. I did make one time lapse of art, and that actually kind of did pretty well. I wasn't expecting it to. So if I make more art related to BTS or otherwise, I might post those. But
what about Jade related stuff?
What kind of stuff would I even make? I don't know.
Bro, I don't know. These people aren't necessarily here because they love K-pop. I mean, they got here because they love K-pop, but they didn't necessarily stay here because they love K-pop. A lot of them probably stayed here because they love Jade through K-pop. And so I bet a lot of, but here's my favorite thing to do to ambush people. Guys, put a 1 in chat in the YouTube chat if you would think it would be cool to see Jade make other cool shit like vlogs or something, or just personal to Jade stuff.
Oh no.
Twitch, we got a 1. I think you would be pretty successful. You would find yourself, now that you have kind of an audience that really enjoys you and spending time with you. I mean, we're here, aren't we? Like, this isn't we're not reacting to BTS right now. We're talking about it a little bit. but people are here to get to know you, you know? So at least I
Everyone
don't know how many
chat right
people are
now.
in I don't know how many people are in chat right now, but they're here because they want more Jade, not because they necessarily want more BTS. So
Of course they do, and I want to be a part of both. But it's wild because I don't think about that. Um,
why not?
I don't know. It's just something I think about. Like, it happened the other day. A commenter was like, I came back to this video because it made me happy. And I was like, I'm so glad that this video makes you happy. And I talked about like the video I was reacting to. And she was like, no, I'm talking about you. And I was like,
Yeah.
whoa. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know how to deal with that. It's really cool. And I don't want to downplay it and say like that I don't appreciate it. I do. And it's so cool to have people who like, like hanging out with me and stuff. I've enjoyed all of the friends that I've made and people that I've met, and it's really, really, really cool. So if I end up making some other random content, then I would 100% share it with them first.
Sweet. All right, you heard it here first. She's gonna be slaying the entire YouTube gang before long. Dude, you should set up a podcast. You should have a BTS podcast. Do those exist?
Maybe, probably.
Oh, I'm hearing untapped niche. Dude, get guests on it. Get other BTS YouTubers on it. Get some K-pop people in on it. Interview members of BTS eventually.
Oh my God.
Move up the world, dude. Or conquer the world.
Like if I've okay, we'll be real for a second. I've thought about it.
Sick.
I haven't said that I don't know if I could ever actually do it, but I've thought about it. I'm like, what if I like did this for so long that like I'm an adult and like, I am an adult now, but an adult,
right.
And I'm doing this shit full time or something, and then I like have them on my channel or something, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's wild.
Dude, if you're gonna be an army, be a general. Like, you may as well. I know of a dude who does react content for, like I mentioned earlier, Ruby. And his entire channel started as Ruby React content and then like Ruby Theory content. And now he's followed by like everybody involved in the creation of Ruby and has been on like Rooster Teeth related stuff and things like that. Is followed by them on Twitter and everything, and has his stuff shared by them.
I know that BTS has watched reaction videos before because Yoongi, my bias, he's done like a video kind of almost like making fun of them, and I was like, I feel called out, totally called out. But, like,
right.
So
right.
Like, I think about it all the time, like, what if they've seen?
Yeah, dude.
And I freak out a little bit.
Yeah, dude. Who knows? Yeah. Eventually, you'll make a video that goes viral. Once they're viral, as they're probably gonna go once Butter comes out. Once they're more viral than they already are, I'm sure people were insulted that I suggested that they weren't already viral.
Yeah, they are totally viral, my friend.
Once they're viral, you will become viral, and once you're both viral, dude, anything's possible. This is the kind of shit I think about for you. So be excited.
It'll be fun if it happens. If it doesn't happen, I'm just gonna continue doing what I'm doing, man.
We'll have to do another one of these in like a morning time or something. Hit the other side of the world or something.
Yeah. Yeah. All I'm gonna say is BTS fucking rocks, and they are their own entity, and they are their own creators, and they are more than just music, and they are taking over the world. And I am so glad I get to be here for it.
Yep.
I'm so glad I get to help other people be here for it. I mean, even since I started reacting to them and listening to them, I've obviously, like, my mom's a fan, my sister's a fan now. She has a poster in her room of you have kind of come into the surface of it. I'm going to tell you guys a short little story. We went in the car last night to go get something, and I switched the music and said, I won't force you to listen to K-pop. And Noah said,
you can put on K-pop if you
and
like.
I was like, I immediately put on a song, and I was like, we're vibing now. because I don't force anyone to like that music, but I will tell you all about it. And then if you want to listen to it, you want to listen to it. And then I'm slowly getting people in my life to love it like I do.
I mean, compared to some of the other crap you've had me listen to over the years, like, so, all right. Well, I've been Neat on the Rocks. Thank you guys. If this is your first time checking me out, you guys can find me on socials, on usually whatever social media it is, /NeatOnTheRocks. On Twitter, it's with an X instead of a CKS. But I'm Jade's cousin. We hang out a lot, so probably won't be the last you see of me. Otherwise, if you're already a viewer or a listener of mine, I appreciate you coming out and listening to me interview my favorite cousin, my favorite YouTube cousin at least, and do some awesome stuff. All right, guys, I think that's a podcast. Thank you for watching or listening, and we will probably catch you next time.